هاغلا أقولت قدنا تيزاقد سنة أو كم زوالاتي أوان مزلو كنات نوحينا عندنا كين أمارات إيلا قدنات كنسرح لازلنا بلاس تساتافوت كونغا دس بلاك أيو تبو أيو عندو نعها تبونا هيوتا ماكوري كم تجوب إخا أمال إخا مقان كان نعاقر كخا واشتغل عرفت تسمع لك ناتوس هذا كاس هاجر كم مقان سايترفعني.
If we do not continue to fight and work for harmony within our society, if we don't build a nation where every citizen feels they are the rightful owners of this country, then we cannot survive.
بقول زمتنا مستي تصابوناي ورارات ويانه تي تملسو زنبره كتيتو ابو صنها كله كتيتو كساب حجبون ام مكلكال هاجرن لمعت هاجرن ساتف زلو مالتي تهاجر اغلغلت غانا ون حجي كيتحلل تحت قرص يكون مكلكال هاجر يكون تزدلي كاب قدامو تزدل اندا ورسه ندحرو زلو اندا ورسه زكاي زلو ولدو مالتي.
We are in a better shape now. And because we have developed a political culture where every citizen of this country, inside Eritrea and outside, is committed to this nation. It might go back to the history of our struggle for independence, but we work together. We collectively solve problems. There is no individual solution for a problem.
Nation building is a dynamic process that demands time and substantial resource. And in order to continue treading on the path of development, the participation of citizens, and in particular that of the youth, is crucial. To realize the full participation of citizens, it is quite imperative to nurture conscious, skilled, and above all, responsible and virtuous youth.
Our task as African nations, in my view, remains the task of nation building. Building nations of citizenship, where citizens, regardless of their ethnic group, their religion, their cultural group, their nationality, their language, their level of socio-economic development, are treated as citizens and equal citizens with an equal share, claim to the country's resources and also the obligations of citizens.
Well, I think one has got to look at the historical context in which the state of Eritrea emerged. And those challenges certainly would come. The question of territory, the question of defining sovereignty, concept of territorial integrity, citizenship, patriotism, and all those challenges of people to begin to feel and understand what it means to be Eritrean, particularly the young people who have never really had the opportunity to be impacted upon or getting involved in the liberation struggle. There is a continuous need for political education, for inculcating patriotism, for them to understand the importance of that victory in 1991 with the birth of the state of Eritrea and what it means for them. And therefore, they called upon them to support all the processes that will lead towards the consolidation and development of this country.
كمزز بلا سفيح زرقح زلو لمعات أب نفرق زمن عدل لمعات زتنفقو تحت قرصو زي معبلا زعنون هاجر نمعوات جزيان أقاطاتن سراحن يحدد جزيان فطنتون مدرخاتون أقاطاتن مع اللؤمن أتقاقم أمن سراحن عينتون أدمعنتون تنقق ودعو موطان ترايزي كونه بدهوتات الممكات صنعات يحدد.
But today, a false storyline is created about Eritrea. This storyline revolves around the national service being a failed policy and which has become a modern-day slavery for Eritreans. That it has become the cause for youth migration in droves. Which ultimately begs the question, is this true? And who is to blame?
Now this is exactly the opposite of what the West or propaganda outlets want us to think. They want us to think about Eritrea as oppressed, as a depressing country where people are suffering, escaping and all this. When you come here, it's exactly the opposite, and so far I'm very impressed, and I feel very optimistic after spending 1 week in your country.
Much that has been said by the international monopolies and media, it's something that really scares the people that are not given the opportunity to come here and witness by their own eyes the developments going on in Eritrea, despite every kind of impediments that we all know. The Eritrean people are showing us and the world that they are resilient, they know where they want to go, and as other African countries, they will definitely get rid of all these obstacles, and the Federation will definitely stand by the Eritrean people in this very difficult moment that you are living. And I am really glad to see that despite everything, Eritrea is growing.
The failed subversive intrigues and open military hostilities conducted in the past, and that still continue to impair the political process of nation building and to paralyze national economic development and growth, are part and parcel of this sad narrative. And if they all have failed invariably, it is because Eritreans were not deceived from the onset.
ናጽነትን ትርጉሙን ክብሩን በቲ ዝተኻየደ ሓርነታዊ ቃልስን ዝተኸፍሎ ክቡር መስዋዕትን ጥራይ ዘይኮነ በቲ ንምሕላውን ንምህናጹን ዝካየድ ቃልስን መስዋዕትን እውን እዩ ዝትመን።
In tandem with the resilient resistance nationals have been waging to safeguard their independence and sovereignty from the numerous military, economic, political and diplomatic acts perpetrated against them, they have not been kept hostage. Their defiance and the implementation of the development programs have continued without let-up, aggravating by the hour the frustrations of adversaries.
The idea of Eritrean independence is gained by the full participation of youth, both women and men. And this shows that youth can change. A lot of African youth can learn from Eritrean youth history that youth can make a change. Youth can bring independence. Youth can bring development. I mean, even after independence, the current history, what the Eritrean youth are doing in a matter of development, in all the aspects, in education, health, military, everywhere, there is a mass participation of youth. And I think they can learn that what a youth can bring and what youth can change in his or her country.
I feel very good to see a lot of young people around here working hand in hand with very, very senior elders. It reminds me of our early days after our independence. This was the unity we have witnessed then. I should probably be honest and say it has faded. So I hope Eritrea will not lose this unity and this cooperation that the young people have with the elders, because this is a symbolic and testimony of the remaining intact with what you fought for.
Established in 1994, Sawa, located in the Gosh-Barka region, is a hub for nurturing mentally and physically fit youth. This place has been gradually transformed from a makeshift camp into an urban center with every necessary facility put in place. It is now a center for vocational and academic training, which has embraced several rounds of members of national servicemen and women from every corner of the country.
كابتفلالي حبرزسب متيقة أو حصير وسم بوتا جينكا نمولا هاجر أبوش حصير جزيه مختفلتهم توسون زي خل هذا عبي مثلتنا مع كلمة لتساو.
Each one of these servicemen and women are provided with the opportunity to learn the culture and tradition of the other with discipline and respect.
علامة ناي ملمعن ناي مكلغالن نحنا خصتاي مالتي وحسنت ثالو مالتي
زيادة مالتي مستي زلو أحد خاص كان فاميلي خون كات خير أو بسرخا خلخان مس أحد خلخان ببيني مس سرخا خلخا بقى سوم بزبل كيوم يمزخدو صعب زح تأشمية بالكان أب أحد خامتي خاجن بقى ترى دي خات خير كل نجارسي ديسيبلين كات مهار كله تكابر سرحكات فلت confidence تجبر بعبي وها ودخانات قان سيتها أنت وضعت معبد مس بزح حسبت اللي مس بزح حسبت قربت خونك بزح نجار كات فلت.
Here is enriched the state of mind at an individual level to uphold unity in diversity and nationalism.
أنا كأ مجمّريا هجرا أقولت قد موسعي زفلتون نبركون هجرا أقولت مسوسه مجمّريا أب كفل التعليم مس كل حبرة سب كاب كل استفل عليه حبرة سب زمسة مني سيت اللالي كويز بجستي نايتي هاي جراونت كاب تشعت بهرات كاب شدشت الزواتات زمسة قال يكون يردي مني سي مزانوكا مسؤوم تلاليخا يتزوها بكاب من جستي قد مكاد صنحا كعمام من دامكت كاب مكاد يمالدي.
Today, the world brands Sawa as a military camp, whereas, in fact, it is a school established for building a self-reliant citizen that is fully equipped with civilized and revolutionary values. It is a center where academic excellence is pursued, a center in which citizens have the access for all-rounded knowledge and experience. For upon their completion of their experience in Sawa, the young national service participants are then given a chance to fully engage themselves in the development endeavors in order to build their nation, Eritrea. For it is these national servicemen and women who are the future active leaders of the country and important actors on the overall nation-building process.
دحري خايوس بزي هاجر أقولت ولا تخسر عكلني مبارك ما صالو زهاجر كده دلنا جس عنده عنده حقنا يتهاجر مبار يخبر لك هذا قلت هاجر أو أقولت
هاجر أقولت ديل نير زي تخونسي زهاجر زياسي يلا مالتي يخبر لي خير مستمجعان وبتصنع خوي ناجين أمامي أنا يا يبلانه مالتي كابزة حج ساعات سبزة زلنا يا ساعات كلي بزي تكيت بزي كستاي جبونان نحن سلزخونت كا سمو داتا كم نسر حلات راين نفسي أمن كابتم زلوا بتصوتي كاد تبجي اليوم زلوا اليوم نغتزال غصاب زل ناسي نحن فليت ناسي نتموتو نمعدوا بجكا زي مريت زي لوه مريت نمبر كال زلنا خوينو عايش معنا مالتي.
What we learn from Eritrea's experience is that the young people of Eritrea are very much central to the decision making of their country's developmental aspects.
Despite the relentless acts of aggression and conspiracies weaved to tarnish the image and unity of the Eritrean people, these national servicemen and women continue to engage in infrastructure and agricultural development, including water harvesting facilities, building of roads, power plants, ports, airports, communications networks, and transport, as well as development and expansion of quality health and education to bolster the growth of human capital in order to acquire the necessary professional and technological expertise to implement all planned sectoral development projects and programs.
We are very self-confident about what we can do. We believe in cooperation and mutual cooperation based on equal footing. I have addressed this issue of self-reliance, which is distorted in many ways. Self-reliance is interpreted as isolationist trend in terms of politics. Not at all. I mean, if you can't grow food enough to feed your people, if you depend on others feeding you, if you would be expecting someone to solve your problems rather than you solve your problems and be party or partner to anybody, big, small, neighbor, or someone very far away, self-reliance is preparing yourself for partnership, equal partnership.
You are standing tall, you are trying to do all you can to actually guarantee development and equal distribution of wealth. I visited several colleges. I was able to see the medical posts. I saw the fight for your food security. Basically, I call it fight because I saw people working on the fields very, very hard. I was told about the programs, about the plan of the government to guarantee the food security in this country. All this is very, very impressive. Even driving through the mountains and seeing the combination of new electric lines and the new roads winding under those lines is something that you would not expect from the country that went through such a hardship and which still has, in dollar terms, relatively low purchasing power. But what we clearly see here, and what is only comparable to some very proud nations like Cuba, is that you went against all odds, you decided to go your own way, you are succeeding, you have a support of the people, so there is a very unique and very optimistic symbiosis between the government or grand plan and between the support which the programs are enjoying from your people.
The small distresses here and there, which are a fact of life and cannot be denied by anyone, are not affecting our economy, but our economy is better than any other economy in Africa. I can challenge anyone to go and see streets, urban areas, rural areas in almost every country in Africa and compare it to the reality here.
Contrary to some of the reports that you sometimes receive about instability and all sorts of problems in this country, I still have to come across that. And the people that I've met, both officially and just ordinary Eritreans that I met at the hotel, talking to them, I get a sense that you have a people committed to serve this country and to make it succeed. And people who really understand the challenges that are facing this country.
Without a doubt, a nation that invests on its citizens will, in the final analysis, grow gradually on its own without expecting handouts from outside. A country with increased percentage of skilled human resource has the potential of becoming self-sufficient in terms of food security and development. Indeed, we need to emulate the exemplary practices of the members of the national servicemen and women who are not only defending the independence and sovereignty of the country in conjunction with the vast majority of the people in spite of many hardships and difficulties, but who are also engaged in implanting challenging developmental programs without the requisite reward.
أمهوسكاس ندلو حجي أبحر نجار مبصح ندلو كحبن أبتاد دليل درجة بصح خلّه كحبني حجي أبصحت اللي ندابل خسكف خلخون قريب له ندابل خسكف خلخون مس بصحت له فري زيارة زحبنا له حدا فرت رأي زحبنا فرت رأي نابنت ورار أقاطي سي أقرأ له زبال أو ورار نتساتيو ورار فشلو حدا فرر إله سلانا كم زوخينا الله هاجر إله كالون صقومات ريو سرح سريحو فرق أفري يأتي له عطي له حق يزو أخي له زون حدا فرق ريله كان زعابي فرون بحافش أنا كل حوار حدا درجة خمس أخا حدا فرق صبي ذلوا سلزس إذا فرق عيتر عايز بحال قال لي فرق رأيله قال لي خا فرق أبز مس صبي فرق
الجيسة بخلت نجار عندي غردو أزغل أنا ندحرنا أنا يقول كأي ترى يدحسب كينه زعبازي أي كسب كون زي جزء خسيرة قبل الخون أنت عمرون دحسب في حسب كينون تبدأ على هذا قد في كيون كندي سواء نقلن تذكر تكونكا تزوج خالو علامات صراحة لنا فتاة تحرات أمن كونكا لعلة تزخون خالو جزء أب زلا على نجار بتحنا نقول نقول
أب حدا ليتي كم زعينة بلاستات هنيتنا وي كم زجرنا كنا حدرا لنا زبهال كينو زي መገድና ንኸይድ ኣለና ማለት እዩ በቲ ዝረአይ ዘሎ በቲ ዝግበር ዘሎ ነገራት ግን እኹል ኮይኑ ይስማዓና ኣይ ምክንያቱ ኣብ ውሽጢ ኣብ ሓደ ነገር ተጸሚድካ ይትርኢኒ ከም ዝተንቀሳቀስካ ትሪኦ ንጥፈታት ግን ብዙሕ ከም ምዃኑ መጠን ማለት ከም ስጉምትስ ኣብ ጽቡቕ ኩነታት ኣለና እየ ዝብላና
ኣብ መቓን ከምዚ ዝበለ ዝንቡዕ ፖሊሲታት ዕንደራ ድሕነትና ጽነትናን ልኡናውነትናን ንምክልኻል ዘካየድናዮን ነካይዶን መኸተ ካብቲ ጽዋዕ ናጽነትና ንምጭባጥ ዘካየድናዮ ሓርነታዊ ቃልሲ ዝንእስ ኣይኮነን ምስ ኩሎም ናይዚ ዞባ ድሕነትን ርግዓትን ስኒትን ዝሰርሑ ሓቢርና ነቲ ብድሆታት እናገጠምና ንግስግሰሉ ኣብ ዘለና መስርሕ መኸተናን ጽንዓትናን እናሓየልና ከም ንዕወት ገዓ ጊዜ ዝምስክሮ ክኸውን
Nonetheless, today is like yesterday, and little has changed. Sawa, therefore, represents and personalizes the continuation of the nation-building process. It is the reincarnation and continuation of the determined will of the Eritrean people, and it's by no means a strange phenomenon in Eritrea's history. Indeed, Sawa is a center of patriotism and nationalism.
Here we have this enormous optimistic project, national project, which is not perfect, which will take time, which is, as I said, the process. But if you, what do we compare Eritrea with? We have to compare Eritrea with other African countries. We should not compare Eritrea with, let's say, Cuba even, which had decades and decades of development, national unity and all this. You are still a relatively new country, but compared to other African nations, this is very successful.